Hello, and welcome to Trail Chats. I'm your host, Autumn King. Today, we're trekking and chatting with District 6 Councilmember Kevin Jenkins. Come along with us as we explore these East Oakland trails. First of all, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you spending some time out here in nature with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Tell me about Kevin. Where does your Oakland story begin?
To tell you about Kevin, I have to tell you who Kevin is, right? And so Kevin is Elijah's dad.
Okay.
That's my biggest responsibility in the world. And Elijah's my 9-year-old son now. And so I am who I am because of him. And so I grew up in Oakland, ended up going to Oakland High School. Went to Laney College and College of Alameda, and really embody what Oakland is. I love being an Oaklander. I'm so incredibly proud to be an Oaklander.
What does that mean? What does being an Oaklander mean to you?
So I think being an Oaklander is proud of your heritage, proud of where you come from, proud of the activism that is rooted in our city.
Okay.
It is proud to be where you're from, even though the world will say that Oakland is this and they sensationalize the negative things that are going on with Oakland. It's remaining and having that pride in your city.
And why did you choose to stay in Oakland? You said you were born and raised here in Oakland. Why stay in Oakland? Why live in Oakland? Why work in Oakland?
So I said this to some of my residents all the time. There's no better place than Oakland. Even though when there are things that are going on that are challenges to our city, we have the best views, best hikes. We have some of the best small businesses, some of the best wineries right here in Oakland, and weather is amazing. So if it's not 70 degrees either way, people are complaining.
So tell me a little bit about your role as a leader here in the city of Oakland. We do a lot of talking on this show about the pride that people have in Oakland, and we're talking to Oakland leaders. Tell me about what that means to you, being an Oakland leader, and what is it that you do? Yeah,
so I currently serve as a city council member for District 6, but I kind of rejected the title of leader, right? It's more of a servant job, right? And so I consider it like a quarterback. There's so many multi-levels of government that people don't understand for one reason or another. So I'll get people that call me and say, I haven't received my mail in 5 days. Now, we have no jurisdiction over the United States Post Office, but it's our job to point folks in the right direction. Right, so some people will have issues with, I had a lady call me about a vector issue, right? So she was like, hey, there are mice and all these. Okay, you have to call Alameda County. What's the number? I know it off the top of my head. And so you have to be that person, and it is a servant position. You have to really like serving the people. You have to really have a heart for serving folks.
How long have you felt this way? Has this been something that's always been in you that you thought, I want to give to my city?
That's an interesting question. I think it's been ingrained in me since a child. So I did tutoring when I was younger for my mom. She had students that might not have been up to grade level with math or reading, and so I'd volunteer and give my time. And so I think that's when it was instilled in me.
So can you talk to me a little bit about what does it look like as your purview? What can you do? How do we support you, and how do we use you in the right way? We as our residents use you in the best way.
So someone told me either I'm crazy or I like challenges to be on city council. Mm-hmm. Right? And I've noticed I have a few more gray hair because I've been on city council, but that comes with the territory. City council, again, it's a community servant role. Right? You are an advocate for your community, ensuring that the city is getting resources to your residents, and you're cutting the tape of bureaucracy. Also, we pass the budget. We also make laws and ordinances, and we work with the administration to just make the city a better place.
Can we get into some specifics? Give me an example. So if there is illegal dumping in a neighborhood, should we call our city council person to have conversation about that? Let's say we've been calling 311 and we can't get through. Is that something that you would do?
I see that as a two-pronged answer, right? So if it is continuously happening, I think that causes for a meeting and seeing how we can do a better job of enforcing the illegal dumping. Normally what we tell people, as frustrating as it is, call 311, right? And once you get that 311 ticket, if the city isn't responding fast enough for one reason or another, then that's when you contact your city council person and say, hey, I need this illegal dumping moved.
Okay. And you talked about policy. So if we're talking about where new bike lanes might be, or give me an example of policy that would be passed, and how the council members work with residents to get to that end goal.
That's a really interesting question. It depends on what type of policy, right? Let's say there's a policy and you want new books in the library or something, right? And so it'll go through committee, right? And there's standing committees that council members serve on 4 at a time, right? Go through there. Once it's passed there, right, it will go to the full council. So people have and residents have the ability to weigh in at the committee level, and they have the ability to weigh in at the full council. You can send emails, you can call your council person, you can show up to meetings. There's a number of different ways that you can get involved.
So connecting with you would be a great way to then have my voice heard. If my neighbors and I were to get together and share some of the issues, kind of have our block meetings, then we would carry that to you and you carry our water forward. So
maybe. It's possible, right? But the district is very large, right? And so you might feel this way, but a large swath of the district might feel a different way, right? And so it's then on the council member to make the best decision based off of their district and based off of the overall health of the city.
You said the health of the city. So one of the things that I find that is so fortunate about us as Oaklanders is that we've got this wonderful backyard of nature that we can just go and kind of decompress.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your mental and emotional health. How do you maintain and focus on your mental and emotional health?
I have to be very diligent about and intentional about focusing on mental health. And so what I like to do is go on a lot of hikes, especially through the Redwoods and Oakland. And I take friends on hikes as well. And it's a way for me to meet up with friends and just catch up. Also, I go to the gym every morning to ensure that I'm lifting weights and focused in on what it is that I need to do for myself, for the city, for my family.
I do that too. I like to do checklists in my head as I'm going on my walks and kind of knock things off the list. Talk to me a little bit about your hopes and desires for District 6 and for the city of Oakland.
Let me turn that around a little bit. You're District 6 resident. What is it that you want to see out of the district?
What do I want for my district is health. I want healthy economics. I want healthy environment. I want healthy homes. That sounds cliche, it sounds big, but I think that it starts with having walkable blocks. I love being able to walk from my house to the market to grab things, not having to get in the car. Health of my streets. I don't want to see abandoned cars on my corner for months at a time because we're backed up for 90 days. I don't want to see, dumping on certain corners. I want families to be out in the street, walking and talking and waving to one another. Cornball, cliche, maybe, but I've experienced it here in Oakland. I've experienced it in other when I lived in a different district. So that's kind of some of my hopes and wants for my district. It's
interesting. I was just seeing where we're aligned, you being a District 6 resident. So for me, the biggest thing is quality of life issues. And I think we're talking about the same thing. Yeah. I know that I'm safe when I'm walking to the store. I know that I'm safe when I'm at the ATM.
Right.
I am a big proponent of walkable communities, right? And ensuring that my market is next to me, my bank is next to me, my grocery store is next to me. Also just want Oaklanders to really feel safe in their neighborhoods. Too often I'm getting some of my seniors calling me saying, Kevin, I'm not exercising anymore because I'm afraid someone's gonna knock me over, and they're crying. Right? And so I want that to change. I want people to feel safe. And so that's my big thing for Oakland and District 6.
So we're aligned in that way.
Yeah.
So quality of life, we're aligned in that way. Yeah. how do I, as a resident of D6, and my fellow neighbors, support you in making that happen?
I see it as we're a team, and you said cliche, you said cornball, you said these things.
These are the things that I thought maybe you were thinking about my ideas, sir.
So it's really we're a team, and systemically, there's been disinvestment from East Oakland, right? And so we have to highlight that there has been systemic disinvestment, and also we have to address that. We have to address that when the budget comes, and we're talking equity. And so what I need from you and other District 6 residents is showing up to the meetings, right? Making sure that your voice is heard, because there about the same 100 people come to a city council meeting, and it's not necessarily the voice of the district, right? And so what I need from District 6 residents is calling in, showing up.
What do you want your legacy to be in District 6 and in the city of Oakland as council member?
That I was a hard worker, that I served people, that residents were able to connect with government, that District 6 was able to turn around the historic disinvestment and get the investment from the city. The Coliseum project is one of the biggest things on my list to get done. And so just ensuring that District 6 has a place where residents can be really happy with, can go and have a meal with their family, can walk and feel safe. For the city, I think it's restoring the pride in Oakland. Turn around this negative media stigmatism of we are a crime-ridden city, dirty streets, and not taking care of our unsheltered residents. So really getting back into Oakland is a wonderful place with wonderful hikes, with wonderful people, with proud folks. And so if I could do that, I'd be really happy with my legacy.
Well, cheers to your legacy. We are in alignment with a lot of things. I'm really excited and grateful for you for coming out here and chatting. I'd love to chat some more because, as I said, I am one of your residents. So now that I've got you, I'm going to chat it up and ask you all the questions that I can. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your time and really letting us know a little bit more about who you are and what you do with the city.
I appreciate it. I look forward to coming back.
Let's do some more walking. We can
right.
chat it up some more as we walk.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.